Hey everybody, welcome back. So actually have quite a bit to get to today. I thought it was going to be more of a light day, but actually there were a lot of announcements that came in from Scream Factory. But real quick, I just want to give you the heads up for those of you who may not have seen my last video who weren't aware of it. Severn is having a sale and it actually ends tonight. This is the June 3rd. Ends tonight around midnight Pacific time. So if you were looking for anything over there, I would recommend jumping on that. And also, the movie Shredder is finally up at Ronin Flix. If you were looking to get that, I got my order in earlier. But the big thing was that Scream Factory did quite a bit of announcements today for stuff that's coming. I think it might be all September, but there were also two updates on two upcoming releases. So I'm just going to cover those real quick. So up first, an update on Silent Hill. So that is going to have, it says an HD master approved by director Christoph Gans. I'm assuming that's probably the existing master, because otherwise I'm sure it would say, a new master. Now, whether or not it's the same one that was on the previous release, or whether or not it's more recent than that, I'm not sure. But just a heads up on the transfer. But it does have some new interviews, including with the director Christoph Gans, Tale of Two Jodells, an interview with actress Jodelle Furland, Dance of the Pyramid, an interview with actor Roberto Campanella, a new commentary with cinematographer Dan Laustsen. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. A new interview with makeup effects artist Paul Jones, and then the previous extras that I believe were all on the older Blu-ray: Path of Darkness, The Making of Silent Hill vintage featurette, on-set interviews and behind-the-scenes footage, photo galleries, and the original trailer. And again, it's coming out July 9th. And then one I was pretty surprised on that they actually packed pretty well is the upcoming release of This Island Earth. So that is getting a brand new 4K scan of the inner positive, and it's going to be in both the 1.85 to 1 aspect ratio and the 1.37 to 1 aspect ratio. So it's going to have both a full screen and a widescreen. Now, the thing is, during the 50s, when widescreen sort of came about, there were films that movie theaters, not all movie theaters had adjusted to the wider screen. So a lot of times films were sort of specifically films for 1.85, and most 1.85 to 1 films are matted, meaning the very top and bottom you're not meant to see. That's why sometimes if you see full screen versions, that used to be the case like on old VHS, you'd see like the boom mic at the top or something weird. You're not supposed to see that. But there are films that were framed both for the 137, that was 133, but anyway, so 137 to 1 as well as a 1.85 to 1. So they are including both aspect ratios here, which is nice to see. Also, it has the original prospectus stereophonic sound restored by 3D Film Archive. That is really cool because much like with widescreen films and stuff at the time, they were also sort of playing around with different sound elements and sort of different stereo sound. So it's kind of cool that they actually have that original sort of sound mix from back then, because those were very specific. It wasn't actually basic stereo and surround elements like we know today. Like, they were doing some wacky stuff with some of those things, so I'm glad that's included. Also has a new audio commentary track with author and Academy Award-winning visual effects artist Robert Skotak, a new audio interview with film historian David Schechter on the music of This Island Earth, Alien Ideas, an interview with filmmaker Luigi Cosi, who did Star Crash, and a text-based gallery, Facts About Perspective Stereophonic Sound by Bob Furmanek. And these other, I believe, were already pre-existing extras. This Island Earth, 2.5 years in the making, the extended documentary, a look at the making of This Island Earth. War of the Planets, 1958 Castle Films release of the home market, including both the 50-foot silent headline edition and the 200-foot sound complete edition. Also, Trailers from Hell, This Island Earth, with commentary by filmmaker Joe Dante, the original theatrical trailer, and some still galleries, and that is also coming out July 9th. So really, really nice pack special edition there. And then another thing that they announced was actually some new Hammer titles. And not one, not two, but 4. So they announced Scars of Dracula from 1970, Blood from the Mummy's Tomb from 1972, Straight On Till Morning from 1974, and Fright from 1972. Now, both Scars of Dracula and Blood from the Mummy's Tomb are coming out on September 10th, while Straight On Till Morning and Fright are coming out September 17th. extras and whatnot will be announced at a later date. And if all that wasn't enough, we also got 2 more announcements that came in, and that is of John Carpenter's Vampires, coming out September 24th. And that is going to be a full-on collector's edition. So it's going to have like artwork and, you know, the slipcover and all that stuff. And they're working on the extras now, but they have confirmed already that we'll have brand new interviews with John Carpenter and Sandy King Carpenter. And as far as I know, they are also bringing over all the older extras. So I think there were like some making ofs from back in the day. There's a commentary track with John Carpenter, for example. I assume all that's kind of being ported over. For those of you who missed out on the Twilight Time release from several years ago, finally getting a new release. So Scream Factory is definitely going after as many of the John Carpenter films as they can, which is okay in my book. So definitely super excited about that release. I love the film, so definitely have no problem with replacing my Twilight Time release. Not there's anything wrong with it, but you know. And finally, a title I have been wanting for actually a long time. And in fact, I think there was a video I did a while ago where I was like, you know, one of the titles I sort of mentioned in there, I think that I would hope would get released, and that is 1981's Fear No Evil, and that is coming out September 24th. Obviously extras and stuff will be announced later, but this is a film that I don't know why, it's one of those where I saw it really young and a lot of elements really sort of stuck with me. So it's kind of a film that I've absolutely loved. This got released by Anchor Bay, if I remember correctly, on DVD back in the day. It was among the early ones, so I don't think it's actually been on video in like over 15 years or something. Could be wrong about that, but it's something crazy like that. So I'm definitely excited about that one. Again, that's coming September 24th. And finally, another one, classic from the 60s, Circus of Horrors, coming September 10th. This is a film I've known about for a long time. I've never actually seen, but I've always wanted to. So this is coming out September 10th. So September's right now, anyway, is going to be a pretty packed month as far as Scream Factory goes. I can only imagine what the heck is coming for October. So that's it for this round of titles. Hopefully our wallets can take a little bit of a rest. So I got some planning to do between now and September, as well as obviously all the other ones coming up before then. Oh boy. So let me know which ones you're excited about, if there's any you are even interested in. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.